are staring at your advertising dashboard, watching your ROAS drop week after week, and your first instinct is to blame the ads. Change the bids, swap the keywords, kill the campaign, and start all over. But what if I told you that your advertising is not actually the problem? Hello, I'm Ruben Alikanian, founder of PAS Professional Amazon Services. My team and I manage advertising for brands doing serious volume on Amazon, and I can tell that 9 times out of 10, when a brand comes to us saying their ROAS is terrible, the issue has almost nothing to do with the campaigns themselves. Advertising is just a lever. It drives traffic. That is all it does. Whether the traffic converts into profitable sales depends on dozen things that happen after the click. Today, I'm going to walk you through the real reasons your ROAS may be bad and suffering, and most of them will have nothing to do with your bid strategy. So, let's start with the most obvious one that people still get wrong. Your listing is not converting. You can have the most perfectly optimized campaign in the world, sending the most relevant shoppers directly to your product page. And if that page does not convince them to buy, your ROAS will always be terrible. Advertising gets people through the door. Your listings, it what closes the sale. If your main image looks like it was shot in phone by phone in 2019, if your title is stuffed with the keywords instead of communicating value, if your bullet points read like a spec sheet instead of the answering real customer questions, you are paying for a traffic that bounces. Every click costs you money, and weak listing turns every single click into a waste. Here's the metric you need to watch here. That is your session percentage. That is your conversion rate. If you blow your category average, no amount of ad optimization is going to save you. Fix the listing first, and that leads directly into the next layer, your click-through rate or CTR. So, before someone even gets to your listing, they have to choose you from a wall of competitors in the search results. Your click-through rate tells you whether shoppers are picking your product over everything else on that page. If your CTR is low, it means your main image, your title, your price, your review count, or your star rating are not compelling enough to earn that click. And here's the painful truth. You are paying for impressions that go nowhere. Amazon algorithm sees a low CTR as a signal that your product is not relevant, which means that charging you more per click just to maintain the same position. Bad CTR makes everything more expensive. But here is where it gets even more layered, which is talking about the pricing and perceived value of your product. You could have a beautiful listing, a strong main image, a great reviews, and still watch your ROAS collapse because of your wrong pricing. And it's not necessarily means it's always too high. Sometimes too low affects as well. If your product is priced significantly below competitors, shoppers wonder what is wrong with it. And if it is priced above, you need your listing to justify the premium, and most listings do not. The relationship between your price, your perceived value, and what competitors are charging create conversion environment that your ads are operating inside. If that environment is hostile, your ads cannot overcome it. Now, let's talk about something most sellers completely ignore. That is the review quality and the quantity. A product with 47 reviews at 4.2 stars is going to convert at a fundamentally different rate than a product with 2,000 reviews and 4.6 stars, even if both are running identical ad campaigns. Reviews are a social proof. They reduce the purchase anxiety. And on Amazon, they are one of the strongest conversion factors that exists. If your review velocity has stalled, or worse, if you have recent negative reviews sitting at the top of your page, the ROAS is going to reflect that reality, no matter how good your targeting is. There is another factor that almost nobody talks about in the context of the ROAS: inventory and fulfillment. If your product goes out of stock even briefly, your organic rank drops. Your ad relevance score takes a hit, and when you come back, you are essentially paying a premium to reclaim the position you already had. If you're not using FBA Prime, your conversion rate is automatically lower because the shopping's filter for Prime delivery. These operational decisions directly impact your advertising efficiency, but most brands treat them as a completely separate conversations. And finally, let's talk about the ad structure itself, but not in the way you may think. The problem is usually not your bids are wrong or keywords are bad. The problem is that most brands are running advertising in a vacuum. They're not thinking about where the customer is in their buying journey. They're running the same campaign type for a brand defense, competitor conquest, and a category discovery, and then wondering why the blended ROAS looks terrible. Different campaign objectives require different expectations. Your branded campaign should have incredible ROAS. Your top of the funnel discovery campaigns will always look expensive in the isolation. And if you're blending everything together and judging it as one number, you will always make a bad decisions. So, here's the real answer to why your ROAS is bad. The truth is not a one thing. It is the entire ecosystem around your product. Your listing conversion rate, your click-through rate, your pricing strategy, your review profile, your inventory health, your campaign structure all fit into that single number. Advertising is just a traffic lever, and if you pull that lever harder without fixing everything underneath it, you're just spending more money to lose more money. The brands that have great ROAS on Amazon are not the ones with some secretive bidding hack. They are the ones who treat every layer of a customer experience as part of their advertising strategy. Fix the foundation, and the ROAS follows. And if you want us to help and diagnose which layer is actually dragging your performance down, my team at PAS does this every day. We look at the full picture, not just the ad console. Reach out and let's figure out where the real problem is.